Hey everyone, welcome back to another Pax-Dei video, and I've got about 70 hours into it playing solo, and I'm building my castle. It's been a blast. Grab yourself a cup of coffee, and let's check it out. All right, so first, Pax-Dei Early Access kind of had a rocky start. Has had some bugs, had some server issues. Really, the first day, you couldn't even place plots and build. Like I said in my previous video, I'm playing solo, and I've got about 70 hours into it so far. Also, I just wanted to say, be careful with some of the information you're getting about this game. Take everything you're listening to with a grain of salt. There's some things going around that aren't necessarily true. I'm just going to give you my perspective and what I've done. I've got about 70 hours in so far, and I've had a blast. I'm playing solo. Are there things that are more difficult? Yeah. I don't have a lot of my skills leveled up. I'm mainly concentrating on carpentry and blacksmithing, but that's not stopping me from having fun and trying everything out and just enjoying the experience. It's surprising to me, like this game not even being out 2 weeks, and so many people are so far in the game with clans. And I understand, hey, this game it's definitely geared towards a clan and large groups of people. But I'm enjoying it solo. I'm enjoying everything, and I'm not getting anywhere fast, but I'm enjoying the experience. First things first, I wanted to just establish my base and my castle, my manor, and just kind of get that established. And this is not finished, but this is where I'm at. I also, at the end of the video, have a couple of tips, just a couple things to show for those that are just beginning to play or getting into Pax-Dei. Hope you enjoy, and let's check it out. All right, day one begins with finding a spot. Finding an area that I wanted to build. I eventually chose here towards that large tree in the center, but originally I kind of had a lot of trying out, placing some plots over here closer to the road, and I placed it, and then ended up changing it. Then, of course, into the resource gathering. So that would be another tip, is just to make sure that you kind of have a look around where you're placing your plot, that you have some of the main resources close at hand. I had nice rock and clay right out my door, so it's really easy to kind of take a loop and get the important resources really quickly. And ended up placing my plots over here by this big tree, placing all three, like I said, somewhat open with the placement of the tree where I wanted it. So don't be afraid to, pick up your plots and move them around a little bit and kind of figure out where you wanna be and wanna build your base. And so begins the building. The first day was kind of hard. I was fortunate enough to get the plots placed early enough before the servers were having issues. Got my foundations set. Ran into, of course, one of the NPC problems. They had server problems the first day with all the bears. But then by the end of the second day, I had a pretty good foundation of the castle walls and main buildings. I did end up changing some things around as I went, but it kind of gave me a good foundation of where I wanted everything laid out. Day 3, I kind of had started to get my elevation figured out a little bit more, but I was really liking the feeling of the courtyard and how everything was laid out. Started working on my spiral staircase, which is just triangular pieces of wood that are free placed, rotated once on a central axis. Then I had kind of my height figured out on the main plots. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the third plot at this point. I ended up moving my right tower because I had built it right on the edge and I wanted it to overhang. So I ended up actually tearing it down and moving it over almost completely. so that I could overhang all sides. So at this point, it's all flat on the one side, but I ended up tearing it down and moving it over. I wanted to focus on blacksmith and carpentry, so I wanted my blacksmith to kind of be a focal point of the courtyard. At this point, I had kind of decided what I wanted to do with my third plot in the corner with a tower and a circular top. And here is the final build. Don't know why, but some of this footage, I was having issues when I started to record with some flickering. So I apologize for that. So for this build, I'm using 3 plots, and it's a little much, but it's got, everything I need. So hopefully when they bring in mounts, I've got this little stable right inside the gate. I've got this little courtyard, my blacksmith, my main building, and I've got my little carpentry station over here. And up on the wall, I've got this walk around where I can walk and look over the castle walls into my towers at the front gate, and then want to continue it around somehow, but haven't finished it yet. But yeah, this is it. So I really have been enjoying the build system so much in this game. So one of the things you have to understand, like with this game, the lighting is it's pretty realistic. Like back in the day, you know, medieval times, it's all candlelight, so everything's light. But if you use enough lighting, like it's pretty well lit in here, especially at night. It's awesome. This is my kitchen. And then got over here, got some storage, and then this back like patio, which either takes you up to the upstairs in the building, or we have my second tower with a spiral with the triangular pieces of flooring. Same thing up here. Got some view of the neighbors. That's one of the things I really do enjoy about this game is the fact that it's an MMO. Uh, you know, you're like games like Enshrouded, what else? Valheim. When you're building, it's like no one really sees your builds, or you know interacts with you while you're building. You know, I've had many people coming by checking out my build, you know, wanting to trade or you know whatnot. It's really cool, and you get to see everyone else's builds like on all of the ridges and hills and the valleys. You see all these people building up their land, you know, and I just find it just awesome. I love that aspect of this game. Like it's an experience to be shared. Even though I'm solo, you know, interacting with the players around me, and that's just part of the fun. I think part of the experience of this game. So then we've got my upstairs with another little balcony. Um, then we've got like my second floor bed area, and then goes up to my main tower, I guess, with another balcony overlooking the courtyard, and then go upstairs here, and then we get the top of my tower. So those of you know, there's certain people thinking that you can't really build high in this game. I mean, there is a limit. It's kind of like which I'll show kind of in a minute. The integrity system is kind of like Valheim, where it's limited to a point, but there are workarounds and things you can do to build higher. So, again, just take everything you're hearing from other players with a grain of salt. There's a lot to this game. There's a lot to know, and that knowledge will grow as we continue in learning this game. So this is awesome. Just the building is awesome. I love it. This is kind of my crafting floor. I've got my leatherworking, archery, and tailoring. So got some more storage for that. And like I said, you know, I'm still building. I'm still working on stuff. This is where I'm at so far, which isn't bad. But yeah, again, this is my kitchen, hearth. Come out into the courtyard. Come over here to my blacksmith area with my forge and bellows and smelters, and then I've got like my armor smith, weaponsmith area here. And we come back here, and this is kind of where, you know, just charcoal, a little room for some extra stuff as we go, because that's the thing. The more I unlock and continue here, little patio. Then come down here, my bricks, some leather. Got this little room down here. Not sure what I'm going to use it for at the moment. It's all just dark in here. I'll be adding stuff as I unlock it and as I progress further. This is just kind of like a tower. I'm going to use it kind of like alchemy tower. Whoops. Alchemy room, and then come up here to my third tower. It's really kind of hard to see in here with my circle. And there we have it. That's a quick tour, and let me show you some building tips. So first thing I want to explain before you place your plots is really the map system. So you have, of course, you have different servers with the U.S. or European or East Asian servers, but then you have to choose your starting map. Okay, so you have your province of Ancien, Mary, carries an Iniscalia, which I'm in Iniscalia. I'm actually in Tresses. I think that's how you say it. Tresias. Something like that. But that's where I'm at. That's my home valley. So when you choose your home valley, also depends on the server. Like if it's full, then you won't be able to place a plot there, and you won't even be able to technically spawn there. You'll probably be able to be spawned in some of the other home valleys and run there, but you won't be able to place a plot. But once you place your home valley, then you're going to have a home shrine you'll be able to fast travel to, but then that is your home valley where you can build. There's really 4 maps plus Lioness, and that is a lot of country. That is a lot. Like, it's a big, just my own home valley. So to explore everything is crazy. It's so crazy. So there's so much content here. I know a lot of people are complaining about the emptiness of the map. I find it to be really awesome. Like Middle Earth, like you're exploring this vast country and you're running into, you know, all sorts of different things. I find it awesome. I do really hope they bring mounts very quickly because I wish it was a little faster to move from point A to point B. But as far as the map, beautiful. Love the biomes. Just find yourself a good, somewhat open to where you don't have trees growing in places you don't want. I mean, there's so many great places to build. So you got to understand that I am enjoying this game as is, right? That's what you have to understand with early access and almost like come to this like this place with an early access game. Are you enjoying the game as is? If you are, or if you know you can, then it's worth the money. Now, if you're not sure if you can enjoy the game with what content's in there, then yes, it is a risk because you never know if the devs are going to actually add stuff, if they're even going to finish the game. So for me, this game is totally worth it just as is with just the building. For me, that's just me. That's personally, how I'm doing it. So real quick, I'm going to go into F7 and I'm just going to show you. So when you hit F7 and you hold Alt and the scroll wheel, you can actually increase or decrease your speed of your flying. So this is really cool function just for getting, epic footage or just getting a bird's eye view of everything. So as you can see, this is 3 plots. And I have taken and built to the edges of these 3 plots almost perfectly. I've got a little gap there, but pretty much everything else is right to the edge of all these 3 plots. First, it's been kind of different than the alpha and the preview week. So you unlock building pieces. So when you start out, you're just going to have foundations and the steps and kind of. You're not going to unlock the rest of the rock building pieces, wall sets, and pillars until like carpentry level 8. Same with some of the other build pieces. You're not going to unlock them until you get the recipe or you increase your level. I think the half timber walls and the timber frame walls with the bricks aren't unlocked till like level 18 or 19 in carpentry. So the point is getting your carpentry skill up high enough to unlock some of these build pieces. And same with the floor. I think some of these floor pieces weren't like the triangle piece and stuff wasn't until like level 12. Railing pieces, all these build pieces, you just have to increase your carpentry level skill until you unlock them. And then once you have them unlocked, then build away. A couple things. Scrolling, of course, turns your piece, which I love. The ability to really, you can make circles with it. The other thing is if you hold Alt, you can raise and lower these pieces. So let's say you had a piece on your wall that you're trying to get way up there, right? So if you just line it up and then you scroll, you can get it as high as you want. Now that comes into what I'm going to talk about as far as the colors. Like this is the build, right? You want everything to be green when you're at your foundation. It's going to allow you to go higher. So the higher you get, then you're going to get to light green, then you're going to get to yellow, then you're going to get to orange, and then red will crumble. You will not be able to place or keep red. But there are some tricks, and one of them is pillars and these, I guess, half walls. They really can change. Like as you can see, I'm like at yellow there, but then I switched to them up there and they turned green. So at the moment, using these half walls can increase your height amazing, like tremendously. It can increase your height tremendously. So the biggest thing is paying attention, because if they're orange, they're fine. They're fine, because I've had this up for days, weeks, or a week, and it hasn't crumbled. So as long as it's not red, you're fine. You can continue building. So it's just showing you like, hey, you can't go any higher, but as long as you can get it not red. And there's tricks too with just using the half walls or using the posts. Like I had to do with that tower. I basically had to take these posts all the way out to then support the roof to be able to get the roof to stay. Real quick, as far as the raising and lowering, I'm going to show you this real quick. Let's see here. Where am I at? Yeah, right here. So, of course, chandeliers. Super low if you're, like, especially in some ceilings, right? But just remember, too, that you can, with Alt, if you're holding Alt and then scroll wheel, you can actually raise and lower them. So if you're in a beam, you can raise that chandelier way up, and then it's not as low as it would be in a ceiling like that. So make sure you can raise and lower chandeliers. Real quick too, most everything when you place your plots, resource-wise, will disappear, other than trees. Trees will not disappear when you build on them. So when you're picking your plot, make sure you're kind of picking in a somewhat open area, and also pay attention to trees. Like if you want a tree in a certain spot, kind of have that forethought. Like when I placed this, I wanted this tree to be in this corner of the courtyard, so that's where I placed my plot. I didn't want to place all these trees in my plot or in my courtyard, so I built it like next to this tree. I wanted it, but then the rest I wanted to open, and I also didn't want any trees anywhere else. So trees do not disappear when you place your plot or foundation pieces. So keep that in mind and just build in an area that is somewhat open. And there's plenty of spots where you can build to where there won't be trees growing up through. And you're going to have some things, like I still have some brush and some grass, but for the most part, my whole build is clear because of where I chose to build. So keep that in mind when you're building. So yeah, those are the few tips. Anyway, thanks for watching this. It's been fun. It's been a fun build. I look forward to continuing it and growing it out and learning more of this game. It's been a blast. Appreciate you checking it out. See you next time.